Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trusty's Vintage Live Sale, another edition, Thursday night here on Trusty Huckster Mercantile's channel. Thanks so much for everyone joining in. I always have the intention of starting up early so I can say my hellos. That just doesn't always happen. So I came in a little bit late this time, but appreciate all the people joining in. But one of the reasons I was slightly delayed is I've got a surprise for this evening.
Hi, guys.
Katie from Vintage and Vinyl is joining us tonight. She will not be selling in the sale, but she will be moderating the sale and identifying the people who are claiming their items. So I will have, I will be the primary screen, but she will be the voice of God coming in and announcing the winners as we go through the sale. So I really appreciate Katie joining me this evening, and hopefully this will be a fun night. We've got some great people already in the chat. So we've got Carrie coming in from Austin. We got Dawn coming in from the Just One More Dachshund Rescue Organization from Maryland. Actually, I was talking to Dawn earlier today. We have an opportunity of picking up a fairly valuable collection of early American pressed glass, the Tree of Life pattern. There's somebody who's interested in donating it to us, and we're trying to figure out what the value should be and if we have to value it or if it'll be after the sale. So hopefully either before or during the main fundraiser for the Doxies, there will be a very nice collection of Civil War era Tree of Life glass. Melody in the house from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. Sue Raspberry coming in from California, the first West Coaster coming in here. And Katie, of course, saying hello to everyone. And of course, everything just jumped as I tried to come over. Larry Riley is coming back. Thanks so much for joining us, Larry. Mary Jo is back. Thanks so much for coming back. Another Marylander, another Terp State, Chad coming in from Westminster, Maryland. Got another Illini. Got Daniel coming in from Tacky Is Me, from the great state of Illinois, just a little bit farther south. Actually, he's closer to where Dawn is, the Doxy girl. She is actually from Central Illinois. So I don't exactly know where Daniel is, but you guys might be within stone's throw. She went to University of Illinois, and I can't remember where she actually grew up, but Central Illinois. She lives in Maryland now. Mayberry Caboodles coming in. Thank you so much. Tia Fane coming in from Canada, our first Canuck in the house. We got the Mainer, got the Maine State. Lynn Hampton's coming back in. Julie Schwartz is here. Got Sandy coming from the great state of Michigan. Cozy Llama coming back. Brian Hance from the Chicago suburbs. Got Frenchie Mom. Lynn. I got Nettie coming in from another West Coaster. Karen Radford. Another jump here. Calypso Antiques. Got Kat. Hey, Kat. How you doing? Jean Rowell, thanks so much for coming in. Empty Nesting Maria, I want to say Ohio, maybe. I think she's coming in from the Buckeye State. Tammy Renee Walker coming in from, I forgot this last time too. Not Mississippi, Arkansas. I can't remember.
Just shipped a package to her, and
I know, it's like I should remember this stuff. I can't remember. Another Marylander. Got Vinny coming in from Western Maryland. Debbie coming in from, as her name says, from Chicago. Judy coming in. We got Leona Moscato coming in from Lockport, New York. Oh, up near Niagara. So up in the land of D from Thrill of the Thrift. And Cricket's coming back in the house. Hey, thanks for coming back, Cricket. Beth coming in from Texas. Pete's Repeats. Haven't seen you, Pete, in a while. Thanks for coming back. LJ says she's in from Minnesota. So thanks so much for joining us. And Karen, another West Coaster, coming in from San Francisco. Jen K, Generation Junkie, coming in from the Badger State of Wisconsin. Let's see. Oh My Vintage, coming in from Joyzy. Just watched Kim did another live video. I don't know if you had a chance to pick it up yet, Katie. She just did another opening of the mystery boxes from the Dachshund prize. So this was the one where she actually opened my box. So I think this was her 5th or 6th video. I mean, she got a lot of business. She got a lot of boxes. She got a lot of prizes as part of that fundraiser raffle. And so she actually opened mine, and it was it was just kind of the unending box of creamers. She said once I did a booth tour video of my booth, and she made just like a little passing comment in the chat saying, "Oh, I love either I love creamers or I love all your creamers." I can't remember exactly what the comment was. So I cleared the shelf and sent it to her. So she got an entire shelf of creamers from my booth.
I missed that live, but I've caught the replay. So
yeah, I missed the live too. I did have to catch the replay. I just watched it actually today. So Deb Riley coming in from Southern Indiana. So the Hoosier State. Blue Flamingo Mercantile coming in from Florida, along with Katie. And yes, I remembered Maria is in Ohio, so excellent. Oh, Florida. I should remember Tammy's in Florida. So, okay.
Duh. I should know that.
She's in your backyard. Let's see. Just jumped again. Roxana Sellers, thanks so much for joining us. And another Florida. Now we got Angie Resells from the Panhandle, Pensacola, Florida.
Lots of Florida people.
This might be a new one. Hi, Linda, Elm Street Odds and Ends. Well, thanks so much for joining us. I don't think I recognize your name, so thanks so much for joining in. Mary Scott also might be a newbie. Another one coming in from Texas. Cindy J. If I remember correctly, another one from the Keystone State. So thanks for joining us, Cindy. Sonia M., another one coming in from Michigan. Barb Lee from very northern Illinois, right along Lake Michigan. So thanks so much for joining, Barb. Let's see, Chicago Lady. Yeah, Jeannie coming in from another Chicago suburb. And let's see, Kim Z., another Buckeye State. Another Ohio native. I want to know native. That's where she's at now. Annette, another one from Illinois. Halem, another one coming in from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. And let's see. Okay, I think I might be caught up. And Kat was in Texas. I couldn't remember where Calypso Antiques was. So Kat was also in Texas. So anyway, most of the names I recognize, but I do have a couple new ones coming in tonight. So just thank you everyone for joining. I don't normally have a co-host, but tonight I had a hopefully, I don't know if it'll be a short sale, but it's a relatively small sale. So I figure we have some time to chat. I never get a chance to not monitor the chat very well. And happy to have Katie helping me out. So for all of you who are used to being here, and Sarah Lee Coleman, just saw her come back in. So hey, Sarah Lee. Watching for names that I might have missed. Pretty much works the way most of the other channels works. The biggest difference with the channel here, I just don't do auctions. So when I show you an item, I will give you the price, and that's the price you'll pay. And then I'll give you the item number. Because it is the price you'll pay, when I give you the item number, you do need to be the first person that we see claiming that item. So what you'll need to do is, if you are not seeing all the hellos that I was putting in the on the screen, like let's see, I just missed one. Irene coming in from another Buckeye Stater, and LJ. If you are not seeing these, you are in the comment section. You need to be in the chat. On your phone, you need to use the app. On your computer, you should be able to use just anything, use the browser. Just make sure you've got the live chat going. The first person that Katie sees in her chat is the one who will claim the item. So it is possible that you will see yourself first because you are closest to your own internet. Funny the way that works. It's based on how quickly it gets to Katie's internet. So usually if you refresh your screen, you'll see the order that we do. But I always say I'm not selling the Mona Lisa. So, we're just here to have fun. If you miss out on something, it'll be disappointing, but don't be too frustrated about it. We're just here to have fun. And if you're not here to buy, you've automatically become one of my Huckster Hecklers, and happy to have you in the chat. So really appreciate it. And Tiger's here. Hey, Tiger.
Hi, Tiger.
Really appreciate it. And Sue's here as well. I really appreciate you guys all joining us, and I'll go ahead. We'll get things started. So Katie will be in the background, but she will be announcing the winners as we find them.
Sounds good.
All right. So the first item that I've been doing lately is the mystery box. This does work a little bit different than my normal claiming, because these tend to be the most popular items I have. So we want these to be even more fun. So Fatbird Finds kind of introduced the idea of mystery boxes as part of a live sale. So I always give them credit for that. The way I do my live sales and my mystery boxes is the mystery boxes are always $15. So it's not too expensive, so it's something you can hopefully, do like a little spontaneous buy. It's $15 plus shipping. If you have never purchased from me before, just send an email to the address on the screen and I can invoice you for the shipping. And once you pay the invoice, I will ship it. The $15 mystery box will always contain somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 to $30 worth of items. Sometimes they will still have price tags from when I had them in my booth, although I don't have too many of that left. Or it's what I would have been selling it for in my booth or in my live sales. Usually multiples of small items. So you get like a little bit of variety and you have some fun opening it. So it's $15, but instead of giving you the number, I am going to give you a range and you have to guess the number. So that way everyone has an equal shot trying to claim the mystery box. So I'm going to give you the range. You type in the number. You can guess more than one time. Just enter type in your number, hit enter, type in another number, type enter. Just keep entering numbers until we announce who the actual winner is. And I will tell you that the number, first person to type in the number that falls between 20 and 30 will receive the mystery box. So Katie already knows the number. She is above bribery, I think. So she will be watching the chat for the first number to come through that is correct, that falls between 20 and 30. So that will be the first item going out for the mystery box. I have already seen the number. So we're going to let Katie make sure she's got her refresh and figure out who the first person is. You're muted, Katie.
All right, folks, I refreshed, and the first person that I see on my end for the mystery box is Maria, empty nesting.
That's the first person I see too, because the number was 23. So 23 goes to empty nesting Maria. So congratulations, Maria. And since you're relatively close, I'll always I don't fill the boxes anymore until I know where they're going. So if I have to ship them farther, I'll use lighter weight. So we'll find some good fun stuff to put into your box. And I hope you enjoy that. So thank you so much. And thanks for everyone who tried to claim. The other thing I forgot to announce is sitting over here. What I have started doing the last couple of items or last couple of sales. Again, I do not do auctions in my sales. I don't think they're as much fun as just a regular live sale. But I have started posting items to eBay, which do go into auction. So this is the item that is currently up for auction right now. It was introduced at the live sale last week. It is currently it is scheduled to end in 45 minutes. So this item is an amphora piece made in Czechoslovakia in 1920s. It has an incised pattern of a kingfisher. The colors don't come off super well on the screen. His head is like a really dark forest green, and you can kind of see the lighter green is in the leaves. And then you've got a dark green on the handles. Like the blue is coming off pretty good. And then it's like a brownish background color. And it is from the 20s, 30s because it's got this cool deco pattern on the back. So again, this item is not being sold in the sale. It is being sold in my eBay store. If you go into the comment section of this video, you'll see the link to my eBay store. And if you're interested and you start bidding on it, let me know. We'll keep track on it. And at the top of the hour, we will announce who the winner is of this item. And then I will introduce the next item that will be part of the auction that will end next week. You get a little heads up. It's right here. It is a Dresden Petit Chosses wreath. So that I will show at the top of the hour when that auction opens. So there's only one auction going on at a time. So anyway, I forgot to mention that. And moving on to the next regular item. So I did do a live sale at one point. This one I had mentioned Katie at the time. We did a little bit of research into the piece. Let me take it out of the plastic so you don't see the big glare. It is a little like pewter stand, like a little easel that has this framed picture on that actually does come off the easel. It's Velcroed onto the card so it doesn't fall off. It is a Christmas scene So you've got Mickey, Donald, Minnie, Pluto, and Goofy are all singing Christmas carols. It says at the frame, it is Celebrate Mickey 75 Years of Fun. And then at the bottom, it says Coca-Cola. And then the card and everything indicates that this was actually a Coca-Cola collectible more so than a Disney collectible, because there's actually more copyright information about Coke than there is about Disney. But Mickey, we determined, came out in the 20s. So this came out in the late 90s. So it is still vintage, but it is just a little pewter card. It's got a barcode on the back. So, under maybe Etsy rules, it falls under vintage, but it's not the oldest thing that I'm going to sell tonight, but it's one of the cutest because it's a cool little. Have you ever seen anything like this, Katie? Do you have one of these?
I do not, but I have seen several of the 75-year Mickey pieces, and I just think they're neat. And if you live in Florida or you love Disney, it's perfect for you.
Yeah, it's a perfect combination. I still don't know why there's a combination between Coke and Disney, but why not?
At one point, there was the Coca-Cola World down at Disney, and you could try all the different flavors. So
that's right.
They did a collaboration in conjunction.
So I wonder if this was maybe tied somewhere along that timeline. So anyway, it comes still with its original plastic packaging. It's still on the card, and it's only $6. So $6 for the little Disney Coca-Cola Christmas Carol easel thing, and it is number 47. So number 47 for the easel, Disney easel.
And right. I see Sonia M picking that up. Congratulations, Sonia.
Thank you very much, Sonia. And I just got the first bid on that item in the auction. I'm not used to doing auctions. And I guess but it's so far the 3 or 4 that I've done, they've all been the same way. There's like no bids all week. And then right before the auction closes, everyone is waiting till the last minute to see what's happening. So now that we're within the last hour, until I started this show, I didn't even have a bid. So I'm like, somebody could get it for a really good deal because I did not. I'll be perfectly happy with what it sells for at the opening bid, but it's worth a lot more than that. So thank you, Sonia M, for picking up the Mickey Coke easel.
And the link to the auction is now in the chat, so you guys can go check that out.
Awesome. Thank you so much for dropping that for me, Katie. And Carrie is saying that's how auctions normally go. And I've heard that. And I guess even from when I bid on auctions, I guess I kind of do the same thing. And my logic, though, isn't like, oh, I'm going to wait till the last minute, see what's going for. Mine's more like, okay, I've got 28,000 things I'm interested in buying. Let's wait till the last minute because maybe I'll have picked something else that I want and I've run out of money. So I don't want to put a lot of open bids as we go. So that item was reminiscent of Katie's collection. Katie's Coca-Cola collection is much more vintage. I don't think she probably has anything that new in her collection, but a little tip of my hat. Should have worn my hat. A little tip of my hat to Katie. This is coming out of this is an ode to my collection. So I picked up this little tip tray. I did a deep, I was going to call it a deep dive, but it wasn't. I did a show and tell with Katie, where I started talking and showing them my travel collection. And I actually had a series of Unisphere items from the New York's World's Fair from 1964. This is not from my collection. I had purchased it to potentially go into my collection. But as you look at it, it's got the Unispheres kind of in the background. And then you've got the fountain with the statue in the foreground. By the time I put this up on the shelf, which is really about 7 feet up in the air, you actually couldn't see the Unisphere anymore. So this did not go into my collection. It's going into my live sale. So it is a tip tray. It's got the years on there, 1964 and 1965. It says the New York World's Fair right on there. And then on the back, it has information about the Unisphere. So this one is, interestingly enough, the tray, if you look at the very top, was made in 1961. But it was made for the 64-65 World's Fair. And this tray was, the Unisphere was, and I didn't know this, was manufactured by United States Steel, so U.S. Steel. And they promote that on the back of this tip tray. So the art is in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of wear around the edges, for something that's 55 years old, you're going to have some wear. Actually, it means 61. It's even older than that. And then there's a little bit of wear on the back. So it's not the most pristine condition. So I took that into consideration when I priced it. So it's only $6. So the little tip tray for the New York World's Fair with the Unisphere and whoever that dude is in the front. Let's see, does it say who's in the front? No, the anonymous dude in the front. In the front, he's only $6, and you can get him by giving me number 40. $6, number 40 for the Unisphere tip tray.
Those World's Fair pieces are quite cool.
Absolutely. I have like, I don't know, I only showed one on your show and tell, but I probably have like 5 or 6. I've got a big, like a serving tray, which has a really big Unisphere on it. My favorite, which I think is the one I showed on your show, my favorite's the little coaster, and that also just has a Unisphere. But I've got like a Stein with the Unisphere on, and then like a liquor bottle that the base of it's made to look like the Unisphere or globe. It just makes a cool shape for my globe/travel collection.
That is awesome. And I see Karen Dontelinger for number 40.
Awesome.
Congratulations, Karen.
Thank you, Karen, for picking that up. That will head from even farther away from New York, and it'll head to California. So thanks so much for picking that up. All right, the next item I picked up, I did a video at one point. I don't remember. I think I was doing a shop with me video, and I was talking about that I don't really do art all that often because just for one, it's hard to ship. I did a little bit in my booth, but then it's like you got to have the right look, and you're dealing with people's decor and all that stuff. So I typically don't pick up art. Well, I forgot, and I bought some. So this was just a little watercolor that is. I actually had to get a different frame for it because the frame it was in was falling apart. So I did actually go ahead and find a frame because I was afraid the watercolor would get damaged if it didn't have some sort of protection. But it's just, it's a contemporary frame. It's not gonna cost a lot to ship it. So I did not want to have a lot of weight or anything. But I'm gonna take the watercolor out. The watercolor is done on kind of a card. I'm not familiar with how art is done, so it's not a piece of paper. It's more of an artist board. And that artist board has been signed that it's called Winter on the Farm and dated 1991. And it is signed by Jerry Herman. Now, the only Jerry Herman I know is the director of like MAME and like Broadway musicals. I don't think it's the same person. So I'm not sure what this represents. Where this was done. It's winter on a farm, but doesn't say where. But it's just, I thought, a really nice winter scene of a barn, kind of with a woodland background with the snow covered. And then just there's some really nice colorations in here, like a little bit of gold, a little bit of blue, so that when I put it into the frame that had the gold accents on it, it kind of picked that up. So I thought this was kind of cool, but it is just a small watercolor, can be hung, could be set up. The frame does have the easel back, so you can set it up, or we can pick another frame, if you want something that has a slightly different look. But I thought the watercolor was kind of cool, picked it up for a good price, so I'm passing it off for a good price. $8. So $8 for the little 1991 Winter on the Farm watercolor, $8 by giving me number 2. $8, number 2 for the watercolor.
Really fantastic detail in that.
It's really nice. Do you do much with like art, like original art or anything, either for your personal collection or for resale?
Not for resale, but I do love personal art, and we have a background of art in our family, so I've always been very appreciative of that.
Now, what kind of background do you mean? What kind of background do you have in art?
Well, my mom was an art minor, and then I studied theater, so there's lots of that in our family. And I see Chad Retro Days picking up number 2. Congratulations, Chad.
Thank you, Chad. I actually just had Westminster, Maryland on a map because I'm planning a road trip next month, and I might be coming to see your booth. So we're not going to promise it, but it might work. So we shall see. Okay. Next item. This one I had in, I think I might have done both a shop with me video and a haul video, and I kind of put it out there for the hive mind to tell me what these were. And the first couple people told me, and I basically said, nope, you're wrong. I don't believe you. And then like 122 other people told me that I was wrong and that those two people were right. So first I'll just show you what they are. So for those of you who might have missed the videos, I have this set of these little like pennant, like stitched pieces. There's a set of 5. So I'm just going to show you one. It has the kind of a cool little stitching there on the top and on the edges. And then it is hand done because you can tell on the back, they carried a lot of stitches, which professional, well, even a professional stitcher, but definitely a machine would not have done. So these were all handmade and I couldn't figure out what they were for. And so that's what I put out there. So I had these set of 5. And then I had these, like this little pair. Wait a minute. Just showed you the back. Sorry. So here's the front. They clearly match them, but these are like 2 skinny ones. And at one point I had something similar to this. And I want to say, because I think he's here, Pete's Repeats. I want to say that, Pete was saying, well, maybe there's dresser scarves and that you'd have the long ones would kind of be tucked off the side, and I was 100% on board with that. And then the other possibility was, well, are they window valances? But if you look really closely, you can tell there's a little bit of, there's some staining to it, but it's never been folded. It's never been stitched. It's never been turned into a window valance. So kind of like watching the chat to see if anybody else is saying anything. But nobody else has corrected. It is that what I've been told is an antimacassar, which is what you would put on the back of a chair to protect the chair fabric from hair oils and things like that. Now, the reason I thought the first people that told me they were antimacassars were wrong, and Susan is also saying it's a chair decor, is because to me, the whole purpose of an antimacassar is that you would have something that when it got dirty, you could clean. There ain't no way in God's green earth that this thing's going to be cleaned. The minute you throw this in the wash, all of that red and pink in the stitch is going to bleed, and it's not stitched well enough to actually hold up to any heavy duty washing. But evidently that's what they are. So they are antimacassars or chair protectors or chair decor that maybe are a little bit more decorative than functional, but they are kind of cool. So these would have been for the arms. So if you had an armchair, these skinny ones would have been for your arms. So I have one pair that's for the arms, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 identical patterns for the chair top. So did you know what these were, Katie?
I recognize them, yes, because my elderly neighbor has them all over her house. And it's funny because they're stitched like that. And I always thought, how would you wash those? But she hand soaks them all.
Okay.
Fells, Naphtha, and Biz, all the old methods to get the stains out. But she's got them on the arms and the back of the chair. And, they're all in her house. They're quite lovely when you have that kind of cottage look.
Absolutely. And I agree with what Mayberry Caboodles is saying. When I first saw them, I did think that they were some level of like a curtain valance or something, and they very easily could be. So you could, stitch a rod pocket on the back or somehow. There's 5 of them. So it would actually, and each one of them is a pretty decent size. I don't have my tape measure in front of me. Each one of them is probably 18 inches wide. So if you actually tried to stitch them, you could actually cover a pretty decent, or just, as a little decorative banner, especially like she says in a nursery. But regardless, so it's 5 of the large ones and 2 of the small ones, selling the entire set for $18. So $18 for all of the whatever you want to do with them. $18 for the vintage stitchery by giving me number 16. $18, number 16 for the vintage stitch.
And there really are endless possibilities with those. You can make them all into something else as well.
Absolutely. You either stitch them together. I mean, and like I said, I think it was Pete that had said, it could be a dresser scarf. And I actually think that would look nice. Even if you just had one, you could put the little dresser tray on it, and it would just kind of fill up the front of the dresser tray.
And I see Sue Raspberry picking that up. So congratulations, Sue.
Thank you, Sue. I think you are new to me, so congratulations, and thank you so much for joining my live sale. Just make sure some point you do send me an email to my email address as you see there on the screen, so I know where to ship them. So appreciate you picking those up. All right, the next item is one of those weird items that I've actually had for quite some time. This is coming out of my personal collection. This was from long before I ever did any sort of idea of being a reseller or anything like that. My first apartment out of college my future wife and I lived in Sin, and we had an apartment, and our bedroom was done in like an old Hollywood, classic Hollywood posters, that kind of a theme. So we had, MGM, the Lion, note paper. We had big lobby cards, some reproduction, some were original. And this was something we picked up somewhere along the way. I want to say it was at a silent auction that we attended for her work. But regardless, what it is a script of freshman year signed by Hot Lips Houlihan herself, Loretta Swit. Now, when we bought this, we literally put this on the nightstand. I don't know what kind of fantasy world we were trying to create, but like Loretta just left, and she's going to be back later to finish reading her script. But regardless, we literally just had this sitting on a table. We left that apartment after a year, bought a place. We never recreated the movie room. And so it just went into a box, and I've just had it ever since. So this is literally a script of the freshman year signed by her. If you're not familiar with freshman year, it was a movie film. The draft of the script was done in 1983. I should have looked up where who else was in it and when the movie actually came out, but it did actually get released as a film, and this was her script. And somewhere along the line, she donated it to a fundraiser. I picked it up as part of a fundraiser, and now I'm going to pass it on to you guys. So it is a signed, you can see she signed it so that the blind would be able to read it. Loretta Swit from the freshman year, signed script, original, for $20. $20 for the Loretta Swit script by giving me number 66. $20.66 for Loretta Swit.
Now,
do you know who Loretta Swit is?
I do, and I really quite like that movie. And I think it's fun that you've got an original script.
So you know the movie? I think I saw it like a long, long time ago, but I really don't remember it.
It's been ages since I've seen it, but I do know that movie.
Excellent.
And I see Dawn Schunkweiler picking that up. Congratulations, Dawn.
Thank you, Dawn, for picking that up. You have some reading material to entertain your puppies. The Just One More Dachshund fundraiser, or Just One More Dachshund Rescue, actually just picked up their, what was it, Dawn? Was it number 28? Your 28th dog rescue, Mr. or Mrs. Piddles, if I remember correctly, that you pulled from a shelter. So hopefully she is doing well. Number 28. So the 28th dog that Just One More Dachshund Rescue has saved. So Mr. Piddles, there we go, Mr. Piddles.
And Dawn, you've got to read that to your puppies and post a story time on your Instagram.
There you go, excellent. All right, next item, also just out of coincidence, also is coming from my personal collection. This was something that I originally had been selling I had it for myself, sold it, tried to sell it in the booth, didn't sell in the booth, rescued it because I thought it was going to go in my new bookcase and decided it didn't look right in the bookcase. So instead of keep moving around, I'm going to sell it again. We're going to sell it. It is a gold tone lacquer divided dish. So it's got the Japan sticker on the back. It's in fantastic condition. There's no cracks. There's no chips to the lacquer. It's in wonderful condition. You can see there's it's a 3-section divided tray. And it's got kind of like the bamboo leaf going off there in that side, but then you've got a butterfly in the middle. So I'd say there's a little bit of an Asian motif to it, but it's kind of versatile, but it's definitely got a gold, showing a little bit more wood tone, but it's definitely got a gold tone to it. So the gold tone lacquer divided relish dish or tray is $10. So $10 for the divided tray by giving me number 7. $10. Number 7 for the gold divided tray.
And that is absolutely gorgeous. Love lacquer trays.
Yeah, I've always just liked lacquer. I do a lot with the Russian lacquer. This one's definitely not Russian. But I have a bunch of gold tone pieces on the bookcase, and I thought it'd look really good, but it ended up having like a different sheen to it. So when I had like, there's the bookcase is gold, the weeping gold pieces that I had, and then this, like, it just, they all kind of competed with each other. So it did not survive the bookcase.
And I see Angela Marksberry picking up number 7. Congratulations, Angela.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Angela, for picking that up. All right.
And a little update on the auction, guys. Make sure you're going over to that link and following the auction. There's only 23 minutes left, and the current bid is $75.
All right. Next item I did also have, and I've kind of put it out there for some assistance, and really had thought I was going to hit pay dirt when George from the Antique Nomad started commenting on it, but we never made it very far. So I'm just going to go ahead and sell it here in a live sale. So this is a piece that I had picked up at one of my favorite thrift stores. There's very little information, or well, no information about it. However, when I picked it up, I knew at the top it was representing William and Mary. So what George called it was a royalty bowl. So I started looking up that term to see if I could find this, and I never really found anything more. I had felt that because the year on the bottom, 1693, represented the year William and Mary College was founded, that this was somehow a commemorative piece maybe for William and Mary College. But then someone else pointed out William and Mary's college colors are green, and so this is blue. And so all of a sudden it's like, well, then that doesn't make any sense. So it is a piece of tin glaze similar to Delft. It is signed on the back with the same color that a Delft would be, signed as well. But it does have blue and yellow instead of the green and yellow. So blue more like the Delft side, but not necessarily a William and Mary College piece. However, 1693 is not when William and Mary started their reign. 1693 is when William and Mary College was founded. So I do still feel there's some connection to that. So this probably is better suited on eBay, or actually on Etsy. But for now, I'm just going to offer it here. So we're going to do the royalty bowl for William and Mary for whatever it's representing for number 25, or for $25. So $25 for the tin glaze Delft style royalty bowl per George royalty bowl. $25 by giving me number 61. $25, 61 for the William and Mary royalty bowl.
Great price on that, Patrick.
Yeah, it was one of those cases, like if I put it up on Etsy, it's going to go for way more. But at this point, since I can't swear what I know what it is, figured, you know what? I like offering you guys some good prices too. It's a little bit of a specialty item, but some people like some unique items. So 61, number 20 for $25. Does not look like it's going to sell. So I'm going to set it up here in case we've got somebody that joins us later.
It can be beautiful eye candy.
Absolutely. All right. Next piece has a little, it's a nationwide thing. First, you've got a Kentucky Straight bourbon whiskey bottle with a moose on it. So, for all of the moose lovers out there. But this is not just a standard moose jug. It is a commemorative moose jug, specifically for the Loyal Order of the Moose. And that is, and it's celebrating the anniversary of Moose Haven and Moose Heart. So Moose Heart is the children's organization. So it's the orphanage / children's charity that is run by the Loyal Order of the Moose. That is actually right down the street from where I live. And a weird thing, my grandmother was on the board of regents of Moose Heart. And I was told growing up, if anything ever happened to my parents, that's where I would have ended up. I don't know where all my rest of my family would have been, but whatever. And then Moose Haven is the senior version of it. So that's where for elder care and assisted living, they've got Moose Haven. I don't remember where that's based. So this was made in 1973, honoring the 50th anniversary of Moose Haven, which was in 72, and the 60th anniversary of Moose Heart, which was in 73. So it is that Moose Lodge item. So it's just not the Loyal Order of Water Buffalo from the Flintstones. It is the Order of the Moose. So you've got, and if you're don't care so much about the Order of the Moose, well, if you like the backwoods, you could just show off the moose. So whatever the case, it is a liquor bottle that is empty. There is no cork. It is marked on the bottom, Royal Halberton China, dated 1972. And it is available for $10. So $10 for the moose jug, $10 by giving me number 35. $10.35 for the moose jug.
That is a neat piece. And I have a moose ring. So you're making me wonder.
Oh, do you?
From Order of the Moose. It might very well be.
Did you have a family that were in the moose, or you just kind of picked up a cool ring?
No, it was my great-grandmother's, and I don't know anything about it. So I might know now. She was part of several organizations. So
yeah, it was one of those cases that, like, to my knowledge, the rest of my family, they didn't join the moose, but my grandmother was she was in the Board of Regents. I mean, it was kind of a big deal. And for whatever reason, the rest of the family never kind of carried that on. So it's kind of neat mentally, but it's like not a membership thing that I'm a part of.
And I see Susan Funderburg for number 35. Congratulations, Susan. And there's 19 minutes left on that beautiful Kingfisher vase. So go check that out, guys. The link's in the chat.
Now, are there more moose in Maine or Minnesota? We had some Minnesotans on as well. And I don't know, where's the land of the moose? Are they? Is that more? I guess that'd be Maine.
I would think.
I guess because I'm a Midwesterner, I think of it from like more our side. But I don't know where all the moose are. Oh, and Susan that picked it up, she's saying that her parents were members. Okay, that's awesome.
Oh, that's great, Susan.
And okay, so LJ is saying Minnesota. Robin from Maine is saying Maine. So I guess moose, they commute. So they're in both places. So. All right. Next item is not from my personal collection. This is an item I recently picked up. It is Mexican pottery. It appears to be very heavily emphasized as Mexican pottery because instead of being signed by the region of where it's done, it just says Mexico there in the border. And then it says Mexico again up there on the upper border. So we just got Mexico, Mexico. So it's not from my understanding, because that sign is not a Tunala piece. It is not a Ken Edwards piece. It is just a cool Mexican pottery decorated piece with the blue and the gold and that bird design in the middle. Now, it is crudely done, as Mexican pottery typically is. So it's got a place to be hung. There's a little cord that was attached to it. Unfortunately, when I picked it up, I did not recognize there was a little bit of a chip on the back. Now, you can't see it from the front, but I'll tip it so you can. So you can't see it from the front, but you can, when you look at the edge, you can see there's a little spot there. So I did take that into consideration when I priced it. If I'd seen it, I probably wouldn't have even picked it up. But I did think it was a cool looking plate, even though it wasn't specifically a Tunala. It just has a really cool color combination that I thought would be done well. And then even though it's a plate, you have the ability to hang it, which I thought was nice as opposed to having to find a stand. So it's only $8. So $8 for the little Mexican pottery bird and yucca plant. Is that what that is? Well, I'm not going to swear, but I want to say that's a yucca plant. I was overrun by those when I was a kid. $8 for the Mexican pottery. $8 number 5. $8 number 5 for the Mexican pottery.
And I like the way they've painted those birds' eyes.
Yeah, he's very alert. It's like, hello. It's the morning bird. Very awake, very caffeinated. Do you have Tunala in your collection, Katie?
I don't have any, but I do have to say I like the style of them. They're growing on me the more and more I see them in the community. So I might have to pick up a piece at some point. And I see Angela Marksberry for number 5. Congrats, Angela.
Awesome. Thank you, Angela, for picking that up. All right. The next item was something I originally had picked up because I wanted to do this as part of my Trusty bargain bin. And then when I received it, I kind of had second thoughts about it because it's a set of current events, the National School Newspaper. And my original intention was, well, these are kind of cool. I'll just divvy them up and sell them individually. But then I'm looking at them going, well, they're all from basically the same era. So one is from February of 1936. Another one from a different week of February 1936, another from a different week of February. So there's 4 weeks of February of 36 plus a December of 35. So I could have separated the December of 35. Unfortunately, full disclosure, the December 35 one has damage. The entire front page is practically falling off. So I didn't want to sell that one by itself. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to keep it as a set. So what I have are 4 copies in basically pristine vintage condition, plus a 5th copy that does have a very large tear on the cover. But what these all are, they say right there on the top, they are the National School Newspaper. So these are distributed in schools. And this was from the week of February 3rd, 1936. So this is a 2-sheet broadsheet. So you've got 2 pages that come together. So it's a total of 8 pages when you start reading it. Black and white photographs. So you've got the world's news in pictures. You've got this great photograph there. You've got a little political satire cartoon on the front with a few afterthoughts. You've got the Mr. Jim Thayer from Springfield, Ohio, giving away prizes. So some sort of a prize giveaway, win yourself a speedy bicycle, because again, these were for kids. And so the advertisements are kind of child focused. So you get rings and pins, act quickly, new royal portables. Looks like you can buy a woodpecker. No, I guess they're equating their typewriter to a woodpecker. What a very interesting advertising campaign.
On the keys like a woodpecker.
Yeah, wait, what's it doing? Let's see. This one, 25 years ago. So we're talking about the 19th century. We've got another Supreme Court constitutional. I just realized, and I literally just realized this, I have 2 of the same week. So I'm still going to keep them together, but then that way, whoever keeps this, if you want to, maybe you're a reseller, you can sell one off on your own, but I'm just going to sell it as a set. So it's a set of 5. One's a duplicate and one has a little bit of tear. So I realized, didn't know that. So I apologize, but still cool with all the ads, all of the photographs, everything in there, all black and white from 1936. You get the whole set for $10. So $10 for all of the school newspapers, $10 by giving me number 63. $10.63 for all of the current event school newspapers. And there's Nate. You had people asking for you, Nate.
Hey, Nate.
Nate had gone grocery shopping, so he's back now.
Oh, man, it would be fun to read some of those articles from those old newspapers.
Absolutely. All right. Next one is also coming out of my personal collection, partly because 2 things. One, it is a contemporary macrame holder, but an older salt glaze piece that was hanging on my kitchen cabinet, which has now moved to the floor. I've started knocking holes in my wall. I'm looking at redoing my kitchen. And so this no longer has a home. So I decided to sell it. So I've sold some of these macrame pieces before. This was done from one of the vendors where I had my one of my vintage booths. She made these. So again, this is contemporary, but inside what I've got holding in it is a salt glaze piece, 20th century. It's not going to the oldest part of my collection, but a beautiful cobalt blue decorated stoneware against the gray color with the darker glaze in the inside. So I had a air plant in there. And that's the other reason I'm no longer keeping it, because that air plant disintegrated to dust because I basically killed it. There's no basically. I did. I killed it. It's my fault. So took the plant out and now selling it macrame with the hanger. You get the pair of them for $14. So $14 for the macrame hanger plus the decorated stoneware little air plant holder. $14 by giving me number 9. $14, number 9 for the macrame.
And you know what? That sounds like me, because I can't keep a single plant alive. All of them die.
I really did try. I was watering them once a week. I was doing really good. Then I kind of stopped. So like, oh, come on. They look practically dead anyway. Let's see what happens. And well, they just kind of fall apart at that point. I
had a lemon tree that I forgot to water for 1 week, and it hit the dust. I see 4 Sandy's lilacs for number 9. Congratulations, Sandy.
Awesome. Thank you, Sandy, for picking that up. All right. I got some smalls that I picked up. This one I also did show in a haul video. It is a little Noah's Ark little box, but there's more to it than meets the eye, because you can hear it. It's making noise. It has a little pivoting front. And when you open it up, it has it has a bunch of little animals inside. Now, none of them are in pairs, so I don't know how this Ark is planning to continue, its lineage. But we could get some interesting crossbreeds going on here. But it is just, there are all these little, like there's a little elephant. I'm afraid to take them all out because I'm afraid I'll never get them back in. But you've got the little elephant with his trunk down, which makes me very happy. And right off, although I did get him back in. And then giraffe, a sheep, a pig, a horse, and a camel. I thought there was 2 horses there. That one with the white's a camel. It is signed on the back by L. Marks from 2001. It says an original by the Rusty Roof. And you can see it was limited edition. It was number 85 out of 1,500. Now, in full disclosure, if you look at the front of the Ark, you can see there's this little, I think it looks like a duck, but I have a feeling it's supposed to be a dove sitting on the edge. There's nothing sitting on this edge, but there's a little discoloration that I'm wondering if something should be sitting on that edge. It wasn't when I picked it up, so maybe it would have had the raven. So if you got the dove on one side, you have the raven on the other. I don't know. Maybe they thought the raven was a bad omen, so they flipped him off. But who knows? If you don't look that closely, you would never know if something's missing, because the rest of it is in perfect condition. And it says right on the top, Noah's Ark. It's a little flag flying. So Noah's Ark, it is only $6. Oh, maybe I know it'd have to be pretty short to fit there, but yeah, you're right. Maybe Noah was supposed to be up there. So whichever way, you've got the animals have taken over the Ark and kicked Noah overboard. I kind of like that story. So $6 for the little manless Ark. $6. They give me number 42. $6.42 for the Rusty Roof Ark.
I love those little animals. They're so random and fun.
I know. It's like, exactly why were those animals chosen? I don't know. I don't understand.
And I see Terry Candeloro for that. Congratulations, Terry.
Thank you, Terry, for picking that up. And that's nice because it's a couple ounces, so it'll ship very inexpensively. So thank you for picking that up.
Okay, guys, there's 5 minutes and 42 seconds left on the auction, so go check out that gorgeous Kingfisher vase.
Is it still at the $75 bid?
Still at $75.
All right. Somebody's going to get a really good deal. All right. Next, since we're talking about collectible pottery, this was coming up. Coming up next. Yeah, Patrick, you're killing me. I don't know what I said, but I hope that's a good thing. So this is another piece of decorative pottery. This is a arts and crafts style swan glazed tile from Pewabic, Pewabic. in Detroit, Michigan. You can see this one is one of the dated ones from 1997. So I did a little bit of digging on these. They started manufacturing. This company is still in existence, and they're really known for like architectural, high quality, very expensive, high grade art pottery and architectural pottery tiles. They started doing these lines of smaller tiles, really, that got stamped and dated as somewhat of a collector's piece, and they are definitely still being collected. I was looking around for these. There's all kinds of designs that are all available. This size is one of their standard sizes that they were issuing in the 90s. I can only find 2 examples of the actual swan that have sold over the past year. One of them, neither one of them were exactly this color. One said blue-green, one said turquoise, which this could kind of go either way. So the one sold in the 20s, the other one sold in the 40s. So I mean, they sell for a decent range. There are none available right now of this style, but the other tiles that are available also fall in the $20 to $40 range. Some of them go up to $100. But I got it at a good price, and based on how it has sold in the past, regardless of the colorway, I'm giving it a good price at $18. So $18, and absolutely, Halem, you could absolutely use this as a coaster. So good catch. But it is designed to be hung, because there is the little hook there. So typically when it's designed to be hung, I will concede, and it is a decorative object as opposed to a coaster. But I can use anything as a coaster. So $18 for the Pewabic Swan tile, $18, and it's number 11. $18, number 11 for the Pewabic tile. And I always feel like I'm talking like Elmer Fudd when I say the name of that company, Pewabic.
And of course, you can never have too many coasters, and really anything can
absolutely.
And I see Chad, Shop Retro Days, picking that up. Congratulations, Chad.
Excellent. I saw a couple people trying to get it from him, but he had the fastest internet today.
That was a popular little fella.
Congratulations, Chad, for picking up the tile. I really did consider keeping it, because I also have an art pottery collection as well, but we can only build so many collections so many times. So I hope you give it a good home, Chad. So piece of pottery by Vanessa Bell. I don't think I know that name. Are you familiar with that one?
I'm not. I don't think I've ever heard of that name.
Is it art pottery or like historic pottery, or is it like contemporary art pottery? Which I appreciate both, but I have to admit that's not a name that I'm familiar with. But I'll be watching. Keep an eye out for it. And Christina got her shipment. She picked up a black and gold shell and a set of brass fans. So I'm glad you liked those. I'm glad they made it through the shipment. Somebody sent me. Trying to think who somebody sent me the picture today of their box that was it looked like a truck had run over it, and she's and there were breakables inside. I'm like, she's like, I didn't think I'd make it, but they did. They survived, so I was very happy.
That's because Patrick's an expert packer.
Yeah, I knock wood, I have definitely had claims. Like I've definitely had stuff get damaged. So I am not above anything, but I do try and overwrap. I think one of the pieces that was sold in an auction earlier, the cave painting picture. She even said, she's like, yep, it made it one piece. Like, wow, you really like bubble wrap. I'm like, well, I don't really like it. It's just that's what helps something survive. So, all right. Next piece is, again, this is an item that I've had deep dives on. I've actually sold some of these in the past. I found a large hoard of them, so I'm selling some more now. I did a deep dive with Joni from Vintagerous on cigarette cards. These are not the cigarette cards. These are cigarette silks. So these would have been done as, they would have been originally attached to a card, so that they would have gone into the packaging, but it is a fabric that you could then sew into a scarf, sew into a quilt, whatever you want to do. So what I have here is a set of 10, and these are all sometimes they're from countries. So I try to divvy them up into like different types of categories. So this category is all either regions or cities as opposed to countries. So we've got Tuscany, So we've got the Tuscany region. We have the flag of Sicily. We got the flag of Smyrna, Tunis, Tripoli, Havana, Cuba, Dublin. We got Ireland going on here. Brunswick, the UK, or no, Canada, I think. Malta, and the Hawaiian Islands from before they were part of the United States. So we've got a set of 10 of the cigarette card silks. Got a set of 10, same price as the last set that I sold. They're $1.50 a piece. So a set of 10 turns it into a lot of $15. So $15 for the 10 cigarette silk cards. $15 by giving me number 22. $15, number 22 for the cigarette silks.
And I never heard of those until you showed them, and I just think they're so neat.
And I'd never heard of them either until Joni started talking. I'm like, wait, what? You could sew them into things? What on earth? And then I found a couple that I bought for myself. And then because I found some that were porcelain, so I kept those for myself. And then these flags, which I think are super cool because I've got the travel collection, I've got the globe collection, but it's like one of those cases that I'm like, I'm going to pass these on, and hopefully some people could give them a good home. And it looks like we got some people claiming them.
Yes, Julie Schwartz, congratulations! You get number 22.
Congratulations, Julie! Thank you so much for picking that up. And I think you might be new, so just remember to send me an email to the address on the screen. And these will weigh basically nothing, so I can even, if you want, I can send them in just a note card on a stamp. But if you want them to be tracked, it wouldn't cost much to send them trackable U.S. Postal Service either. So thank you for that. I did just get the final notification that the pottery sold. And it sold to eBay name. I couldn't possibly tell you what it is. It looks like it's the letter L_GR with some numbers. So if there's anybody here that picked that up, definitely let me know. Because then if you buy anything else, I'll combine it with the shipping of the vase. So it did end up going for $86. So it went cheap. If I had listed it on Etsy, I would have listed it for $195. So somebody got a really good deal, but that's okay. Oh, Larry Riley.
And Larry Riley.
Excellent. So I don't think. No. So far you haven't picked up anything else. That's fine. You don't have to. But if you do buy anything tonight, I can combine them because you will have already paid for the shipping on the vase. So I hope you enjoy it. Or if you're a reseller, you probably could flip it. But it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful piece, and I'm glad it's going to somebody in the live sale. Like I didn't know where it would land. So maybe they're not as valuable as I thought they were. But it's a great piece, and you got it, I feel, at a really good price. So congratulations, Larry. Thanks so much for picking that up.
And
so with that,
having someone in the chat get it.
Absolutely. I absolutely love that. So with that sale being over, that means this auction has now gone live. So this is, for those of you, and many people have commented on this, that a lot of vintage resellers have done videos on these. I will admit the first time I ever saw one was on Crazy Lamp Lady. She had found one. I think hers was bigger, but she had found one. She posted it onto eBay, and it went for an impressive amount. And to be perfectly honest, it went for more than double what others of the same size were going for, because she's Crazy Lamp Lady. But these go all over the place because from what I can tell, they're almost all unique. So this one is the 10-inch size, and it is the holiday Dresden wreath, Petite Chose's Dresden wreath. But this one is the holidays with the woodland creature. Well, I can't even say woodland because there's a freaking rooster. It's the holidays with the animal theme. So there's like holidays with leaves, there's holidays, there's like the holidays get mixed in, and then which holidays are represented also seems to change. So this one does not have a jack-o'-lantern, but if you start at the top, you can see there's a Christmas tree with some kids, like Victorian Christmas tree with some kids decorating it, along with a bunny rabbit. As you work your way around counterclockwise, I guess I'm going, you've got an elephant with his trunk down, which makes me very happy. You've got an Easter bunny carrying a basket and a flag, a rhino, an owl, an absolutely bizarre addition of an alligator. I don't know what the heck he's doing there because he's hovering above the head of Father Christmas carrying the Christmas tree. You've got a dog, a bird, I said like a mountain lion. I want to say that is cougar. Puma. What do you think it is?
Panther, maybe?
Panther. Like, I don't know if these are supposed to be representing American animals. I had no idea. Because then you've got the turkey, and then right behind the turkey, you've got the pilgrim with the gun to shoot the turkey. You've got Cupid. Then you've got a bear. Then you've got a little girl pushing a heart in a wheelbarrow. And then you've got another bear and a sunburst. But then you've got a bunch of little chickens carrying an egg in a cart. And then a buffalo, it's just like it's just the weirdest combination. Then another Christmas tree. I want to say that's an elk. Maybe it's a moose. And then a fox, a swan, a rooster. And then we're back up to the top again. So it's 25 animals. The eBay listing actually identifies all 25. So there's no question about it. It's 10 inches across. It is now up on my eBay store. Or eBay auction. I believe the decades of these are like the 80s. The original ones that were Dresden were significantly older. From what I understand, and this was from Crazy Lamp Lady, she said that these were recreated by like high-end department stores in like the 80s and the 90s. Somebody said, I'm sure it was Nate, that they need to be polished. That this definitely has the patina to it. But it's a patina probably from the 80s, maybe the 90s. And you can find them. Dresden is a popular term because it's got the Dresden look, even though they're not that old. And then the other one is Petite Choses, Choses. So those are the two terms that tend to kind of circulate these. But it's basically a brass holiday wreath. And then this one happens to be holiday with animals. And as you research them, you'll see there's some of them have the same holiday patterns, but then what's interspersed is something different. So this one's the animals. So that is up for auction now. It will end in 1 week. It'll end at the top of this last hour next week, and I'll do the same thing. I will announce it. And then if anybody is in the live chat, we'll definitely give you a shout out. And if you purchase anything during that sale, I'll combine with this. And then we'll open up another item for another sale.
And that is fabulously unique. I love that.
Yeah. And what I hadn't realized is how unique they were. Like I just assumed like there were like 3 or 4 different patterns, but there's a bunch that are this size. It just depends on what's put in them. So like mine has like 2 Easter and like multiple Christmas. Others have like multiple Halloween, which I don't think this one really has anything for Halloween. So it just seems, I don't know how they made them, how they chose which holidays got put in. Like they just had a bucket of them and they just like randomly put them on. I have no idea. Okay. The next item, going back to my traditional items here. This is a Cracker Jack toy. I found a kind of a hoard of these and picked up several of them that I sold within the last couple of weeks. There were these they were called midget spinners or midget race spinners. And it was like a little card that you spun and you could kind of pick which car was going to win the race. Well, this is the same idea, but this one is televised, and it's hold in one hand and turn the disc with the thumb of the other. You will see a good television show. So you've got a guy chasing a pig, it looks like. So why he's chasing a pig, I do not know. Now, I say that, and I just discovered I thought they were all identical. They're not. because the one that I saw before did not chase a pig. So hold on 1 second while I disappear. Because I have 4 of these, and I thought they were all identical. So we may have to modify the numbers a little bit. So let's see. So this one is, yeah, to me, he is chasing a pig. So that's that one. We then have the one that I thought I had, that I thought they all were this. It looks identical because the kids are sitting in front of the exact same television. But this one is Native American chasing a buffalo. So you got a Native American running around the circle with the buffalo. But this one has a bunny rabbit on it. So this one is it looks like a dog chasing rabbits. It's kind of like a greyhound chasing rabbits. All right, so that's different. And then what's this one? This is like a big surprise. I just thought they were all the same. And then this one. Okay, this one is another Native American chasing the buffalo. So I have 2 of those. So here's what we're going to do. I have a number for the 2 Native American ones.
And are there any dates on these, Patrick?
There are not. They just say televise, hold in one hand and turn the disc with thumb of other hand. You will see a good television show. Based on the screen shape, the fact that it's that arced, tiny little screen that these kids are sitting in front of, I'm going to say that's like 40s or 50s. But the items themselves, none of them are marked with a date. And full disclosure, they are not marked specifically that they are Cracker Jack toys, but they came with other Cracker Jack toys and everything's turning out to be Cracker Jack toys. So I'm going to assume that's where these came from as well. I'm selling them for $4. So, you know, we're not going so crazy on these. So what I've got is the number I'm going to show you is for the Native American chasing the buffalo, and I have 2 of them. So I thought I had 4, but I have 2. So the first 2 people, and so Jamie's saying the same thing, guessing late 40s.
Yeah,
and most of the toys that I had from this collection, most of them were like 40s and 50s. But that, and the fact that it's black and white, that looks older than the 50s. By the 50s, that's what the midget cars were, and that artwork was in color. So the fact that this is still in black and white does make me feel they're a little bit older. So yes. Anyway, so I am going to release number. The first 2 people to give me this number will get the televised Native American chasing the buffalo. Then we will sell the other 2 really quick. I'll just like make up some numbers because I don't have them. So $4. The first 2 people to give me number 20 will get the Native Americans chasing the buffalo style Cracker Jack toy. And I need to make notes.
Those are just very neat. Again, I'm sure a lot of these didn't survive. So
exactly. And they're all in great condition.
And this was quite a popular one. Holy moly. I see Gritty Grat and Misty Mountain Vintage Hunter for the first 2.
All right. So Gritty Grat and Misty Mountain Vintage Hunter. Okay, I think you might be new to me. So just make sure you send me your email. So those are the first 2. Now switch from your numeric keyboard to your alphabetical keyboard, because now you're going to have to give me a number, because I don't want to duplicate a number. So if you are interested in the man chasing the pig, I only have 1 of these. It's still $4. If you want this one, give me the letter P. Letter P for pig.
There was about 20 people that wanted your last Cracker Jack toy.
Yike. Okay. And it's $4, P for pig.
And this one's popular too. And I see Mary R for that.
Okay, and Nate saying he saw some different people for the Native American one.
All right, Nate.
I see Greedy Gret and Misty Mountain are my first two. So I agreed with what I see what Katie saw.
And I see Nate saying Misty Mountain and Melody's Mini Miscellaneous, which is weird because I just refreshed on my phone and I see the same thing now Nate is seeing. But my chat on StreamYard is showing what I had originally announced.
Okay. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Gritty Gret, do you want the dog chasing the rabbit? Say yes or no. And we'll give you that one. I mean, sell you that one. Because then I'll give some Misty, and it looks like everyone's saying Misty and Melody got the Native American one. Mary R got the pig. I don't see anyone changing that or challenging that. Yeah, Mary R. And I only had one, so I didn't have two for that one. So I only had one for Mary R. And then did Gritty, yes, and Gritty Gret said that she'll end up taking the fourth one. So had I had just all four being the same, Gritty Gret would have been the third person anyway. So you still would have claimed it. So we're still being fair. So that was the dog, and the rabbit went to Gritty Gret. Really sorry about that, everybody. I literally had not realized they were different until I was suddenly spinning it going, what's that picture? I've never seen that picture before. Because when I got them, I even showed it to Katie, and I showed her the one with the Native American. I had no idea that I had different versions. So sorry about that. But congratulations to Misty Mountains Vintage Hunter, Melody, Mary R, and Gritty Gret. And Mary R, I think you might also be new to me. Or I'm not recognizing your name, so I apologize if you have bought from me before. But if you make sure you send me your information, I would appreciate it. All right, let's move into something bigger. So the next item is some advertising. So I had a series of magazines that I was able to pick up for a pretty reasonable price, but they were falling apart. And so what I did was I couldn't really salvage the spine. So I just separated them out and then kind of created categories of the advertising that I was able to find. And this category is menswear. So what I've got is a series of full page ads as well as some partial ads. And I'm going to sell it as a complete lot. So I've got, this was my favorite. Check this out, Katie. Dobbs. I think, sorry, I got to, Katie had technical difficulties there. So you're back, Katie. I should be able to hear you now.
Good. Oh man, Dobbs is a fabulous brand of hat. One of the best.
Really, I wasn't familiar with it, but I thought the ad was cool. Like just the travel in the profile, and then just kind of the cool thing. And then this came out of Esquire magazine. It just happens to be on the back. It's a cool advertisement for luggage. So, but this is the menswear section. So you've got a full page ad of the Dobbs hat, a full page ad of Banlon Knits by Puritan. And then on the back is a full page ad of a wallet. And then a full page ad of an Avon for men. Only an Avon representative brings Avon for men in this cool like cologne in the shape of a clock. Then you've got Hamilton watches. Manhattan shirts being advertised by Y.A. Tittle. So football player. This is also from an Esquire magazine. Got Weinberg shoes. Van Heusen. And then I've got some partial ads. So I've got the 007, or no, I'm sorry. I do have, this is the back of it, is the 007 trench coat, which I thought was kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Also is the number 7 motor tune-up from DuPont, But what you get with this is the 2-page spread of McGregor. So you've got McGregor, like everyone wants to wear McGregor hot pants. So this is from, let's see, is this going to say what year? This was probably from Esquire again. All of them were from the 60s. This one doesn't say specifically what year this was from. These were all from the 60s. So it's probably like 66 to 68. Another full page, American Bemberg, somebody who just has not succeeded over time. Then we've got some shirts, Mohair suits, I'm sorry, with some partial ads on the back. Weight loss was not just for women. We'd reduce the size of your waistline with a little electronic pulsing machine to make the guy look skinnier. Universal Genève watch, plus Asher pants, Amity travel kits, Amity wallets, DuPont wallets, leisures, Lee pressed leisures, so leisure suits, socks, and then just some cool like ads from the back of one of the Esquire magazines. So all of that, all of the the full screen or the full page, as well as all the partials, you had the entire lot of menswear for $9. So $9 for all of those advertising pieces would look fantastic framed. $9 by giving me number 3. $9, number 3 for all of the advertising.
What a fantastic lot. Man, that Dobbs ad is very cool.
So I think Katie's saying that she would not mind somebody sending her, whoever wins it, somebody sending her the Dobbs ad.
That would be great framed. And yes, Nate has been trying to put in the link, and I've been trying, and Google Moderator is now taking us out. So if you are looking for Patrick's eBay store to bid on that Dresden wreath, make sure you go to Trusty Huckster Mercantile on eBay.
Yeah, if you go to the details of this video, like once it's over, the link is in there. And then you can go to my link tree. But it's interesting because you guys were dropping links earlier, so I'm wondering why it's kicking you out now. That's really interesting.
Very random. Who knows?
So I've got number 3 going, or Nate has number 3 going to Sarah Lee Coleman.
Yes, I see Sarah Lee Coleman.
All right. Congratulations, Sarah Lee. All right. Next one is, people have watched my channel for a while. You know, I've carried this off and on. I still have a handful of pieces, and I came across this one that for whatever reason I had never listed. So I'm just going to offer it here because it's a lower price point and it's not really worth going up onto Etsy. It is a Lefton little handled bowl. So pin dish, like it does have fruit pattern painted into it. So I don't know if it would be used as a fruit dish. Like it's kind of got the little lip like a nappy for lemon wedges, but it's got sides to it. So I don't 100% know what this would necessarily have been designed for. It kind of looks like it's in the shape of a shell, but then it has fruit painted into it. So fruits of the sea? I don't know. So anyway, it is Lefton. It does have the Lefton registration mark on the back, and it's only $5. So $5 for the little Lefton shell dish with the fruit. $5 by giving me number 51. $5.51 for the little Lefton dish.
And I see people are saying, click on the link 1, 2, 3, go before Google deletes it. And I see Karen Dondelinger picking up that Fruits of the Sea dish, number 51. Congratulations, Karen.
Excellent. Thank you, Karen. All right. I've got another presumably Cracker Jack toy. Only one, though. Sorry, everybody. It is a keychain. I'm going to assume that this is like 60, probably from the 60s. Because it is a bowling themed keychain. So you've got the old style, the beaded style, like even from the 70s, but I think it existed prior to that. And then on there is a green bowling ball with a red stripe bowling pin. I couldn't find any words or any stamps or anything on there. So I don't know. Again, I only say that I picked this up along with about a dozen other things that have proven to be Cracker Jack toys. So I'm assuming this is a Cracker Jack toy, but I couldn't swear to it. But it is a very cool vintage keychain, like just with this little awesome bowling pin. Questionably awesome bowling ball, but I do like the green color of it. But it's just hung in a very weird way. Nappy bowls, Christina Gonzalez is asking, nappy bowls were used to serve lemon wedges. So that's why they're usually flat. So they'd have a handle on there so you could offer them to your guests when they're doing tea. They could pick up a lemon wedge off it. I don't know where the name came from, but that's what a nappy did. Do you know where the name came from, Katie?
I don't, and I've been wondering because sometimes you say nappy and people go, "Oh, you mean diapers?"
Like diaper, exactly. It's like, no, we don't serve diapers. So it's something to do with it's for lemon wedges, but I just don't know where the name came from. And I also don't know if it originated. I'm assuming it originated in England.
I would think.
I don't think that was something we did here. So anyway, bowling ball and bowling pin, vintage keychain, possibly Cracker Jack toy, even if it's not, still very cool. And it's only $5. $5 for the bowling ball and bowling pin keychain. $5 by giving me number 48.
That would be great in a junk jar or any little tiny cubby where you wanted to
Absolutely.
Something vintage and fun.
Absolutely.
And I see Melody's mini miscellaneous. And I see Sarah Lee saying she'll send me the Dobbs hat ad. Well, that is very sweet of you, Sarah Lee.
And you know what I'll do, Sarah Lee? I will separate it out and I will send it to, not that it changes postage all that much, but I'll send it directly to Katie and that'll be kind of thank you for helping me out. So it all works. So 48 goes to Melody. All right. Congratulations, Melody, for picking that up. All right. Next item. This is actually, if you follow me on Instagram, I do promote some of the items ahead of the sale to let people know what's coming up. I showed the Poabic tile. Sometimes it's a chance for you to see what's coming, and you can then go off and do your own research to see, is it rare? Is it valuable? Do I like it? How much am I willing to pay for it? Hopefully, if you've been with my channel for a while, you know that I do try and offer the best prices I can. And this was one of the items that I showed on the Instagram. So it's a 2-piece lot. Let me empty it out here. So the first part of it is this tin, which says it's Girl Scouts on the bottom. It has to be relatively modern, but there are airline tickets in the pocket, and the airline tickets are dated 2000. So it's not earlier than 2000, but I can't imagine to be much later than that, because why would you put the year 2000 on something from 2005? So I'm going to say this is probably almost a 20-year-old tin, or roughly. They're going from New York to Boston on December 26th, the year 2000. So day after Christmas. But it's got the iPad earphones in there, so that might help date it as well. The blue and green. That was like from the mid 2000s. So it's just this little tin. It's kind of cool because the tin is set. It's like actually has these little blue straps to it that kind of try to pretend the extension of the blue piping on the bag. And then the lid is like the top of the bag. It's like the bag is open and you've got all this kind of stool in there. And you can see it's kind of got a shape of a bag too. So the tin is really cool. So it's not like super, super old, but it's very cool. But what is old is then this that was in it. It is a vintage, new old stock Girl Scout pin. So it's still on the card. So it's got the Girl Scouts logo on the card, the number from when it was picked up. And I don't know how old it is, but it's got to be fairly old because there's the lock. So I would think that's like a 50s or 60s style.
I think so too.
That it's like anything newer would have had that locking mechanism to it, because this is going on to a kid. That's a weapon in a kid's hand. So, the the girls from the 50s, they earned their keep. So anyway, so I don't know exactly how old this is, but I just decided I got two things of Girl Scouts, so I'm going to sell them together. So the Girl Scout tin and the Girl Scout new old stock pin, the pair is only $12. So $12 for the pair by giving me number 43. $12, number 43 for the Girl Scout tin and pin.
And that tin is so well done that when I saw it on Patrick's Instagram, I really thought he was giving away a pair of vintage headphones in the tin because it looks so 3D.
It really does. I was happy with how the pictures came out too.
And I see Tammy Renee Walker picking up number 43. Congratulations.
Excellent. Thank you, Tammy. All right. Next item is, this is a company that I've carried before. It doesn't have the name recognition in the States as it does in Europe, but I personally love it. It is from Villeroy and Bach. And one of the things that I joke about, I mean, absolutely no disrespect, but I love the fact that a company as that can do, it's been in business since 1748, that they can still be in existence making fine porcelain in the country of Luxembourg. I'm sorry, what else comes out of Luxembourg? I could not name a single thing that comes out of Luxembourg, but Villeroy and Bach does. And so what I've got is this trinket dish, which on the back it says Naif Christmas. And the Naif Christmas, I found that term quite a bit, but I never figured, I don't know if Milliart is on here, if there's any recognition or if anyone knows what Naif Christmas means, because I have no idea. But it's kind of a Christmas scene in the sense that it's winter, but check out what's happening in the middle. There's somebody in a trench coat walking a tiger on his hind legs. What are they doing? And why is this Christmas? So I have no idea if Naif means fake Christmas. I have no idea. But it's this little European village scene with all the people standing around looking at, I guess it's probably a bear, but it's striped. So it looks like it's a tiger walking on its hind legs. Any idea what that is, Katie?
I don't. It looks like a tiger, but I just Googled the word naif, and it does come up as meaning indigenous.
All right. Well, I guess Luxembourg walks their tigers on their hind legs. So, something else amazing about Luxembourg. So anyway, it is a Villeroy and Bach, fairly decent, always like a powder dish or trinket dish. It does not say when it was made. It does say it is dishwasher safe, so we're not talking about like super, super aged. But everyone needs a walking tiger. So you can have the Naif Christmas Villeroy and Bach, which is really a high, I joke about it, it's a very high quality porcelain. So Villeroy and Bach porcelain from Luxembourg, Naif Christmas dish, $15. $15 for the Naif Christmas by giving me number 67. Villeroy and Bach, 67, $15. I think it is supposed to be a bear, but I don't think bears are striped. That's what's throwing me.
It kind of looks like a tiger. So
yeah, the stripes make it look like a tiger, but I could see it being a bear. Although I don't know why you'd be walking a bear in the middle of a little village scene either, but you never know.
And I see Terry Candeloro picking up number 67. And Terry, that could be whatever you'd like it to be.
Absolutely. Make your own little name and make your own little story behind it. All right. Something small again. This one is a set of, again, I considered keeping it, but it's one of those cases that I can't keep everything. But I did consider adding this to my travel collection. It was just I didn't have a very good way to display it. What I have are, there's still 6. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to reach that one. Oh, yes, I can. I'm getting old. All right. It is a set of napkin rings. And they are a set of napkin rings from Continental Airline. So travel items from airlines that no longer exist are the most valuable. These were supposed to go up onto Etsy. Never made it. So I'm selling them here. So the way I did it, I put them on my figures wrong, but I did them as I've got 3 that is just the logo of Continental, which are not as valuable because people don't always recognize what it is. But then you also get 3 that say Continental. So these are specifically from Continental Airlines, specifically from the first class cabin napkin rings. So they are like a resiny, plasticky material, but the gold is embossed. It's actually like you can feel the texture on there. So you get the set of 6 of the Continental Airlines, which is no longer in existence. Get them for the average of $3 a piece. So you get the set of 6 for $18. $18 for the set of 6 Continental Airline napkin rings. $18 by giving me number 64. $18, number 64 for the Continental Airline napkin rings. Hey, Logan. Hey, Mr. L. Page. I didn't see you guys come in, so I'm saying hey.
Hi, guys. And I see Living by Faith for number 64.
All right. I think you might be another new subscriber. So thank you so much for picking something up. Just make sure you send me a email so I know where you are, and I will get you an email or get you a invoice and get those shipped out. They're very lightweight, so they won't cost much to ship. So thank you for picking those up. All right. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I've gone really far into the evening and I haven't sold coasters yet. Well, I need to fix that. So I'm selling coasters. So what I've got here is a set of wooden coasters with a little wooden holder, and they are specifically for Monterey Bay. So we've got a little souvenir piece for anyone who loves California or just loves wooden coasters with a really cool design on them. So you've got Monterey Bay, California. You've got the what kind of tree is that? I have no idea.
Like the trees from Joshua Tree.
Is it like acacia or something like that?
Very possible. I just don't know.
Yeah, I am not a horticulturist. They are all the same. They all have the same design. So it's a set of 4. They're all engraved. They all say Monterey Bay, California, and then the holder also just says Monterey Bay with a little like kind of sun landscape cool in the back. So it's a set of 4 in the holder. What's that, Katie?
Could be a cypress tree someone's pointing out.
Ooh, cypress. I don't know. I'm a Yankee. I don't know. I don't think we have any of that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's a set of wooden coasters for $5. $5 for the Monterey Bay, and so everyone seems to be thinking cypress. So okay, so $5 for the cypress tree coasters, $5. By giving me number 74. $5, number 74 for the Monterey Bay, California coasters.
And there is a wonderful aquarium in Monterey. If you guys ever get a chance to go check that out, you can have coasters from Monterey. And I see Bree Gia picking that up. Congrats, Bree.
Excellent. Thank you, Bree.
Oh, and she's from there, and she's saying that they are cypress trees.
Oh, excellent. And you'll have little cypress tree. I would say the wood, I would guess the wood is oak, but maybe the wood is cypress too.
That would be.
I don't think I would know what cypress wood looked like. I just assumed it was oak.
I think that's oak with the striping the way that is.
Yeah. So yeah, Katie would know. So, okay. Next item is kind of a little unique lot. This came from a mixed lot that I got, office set of scissors in a little leatherette case, so you can set it on your desk, and a letter opener. And what makes it cool is it's from Nabisco. So it's Nabisco Brands. It was a commemorative piece from the Quarter Century Club from 1991. So, very 90s to have your little finished desk set. So the letter opener and the scissors fit together in the little sleeve. Unfortunately, and this is the way it was when I found it, the scissors were in front of the letter opener, because probably who really uses the letter opener. So sliding the scissors in and out is what rubbed the ink off of the letter opener. But it is still a cool set. If you don't like the way the red looks, you can flip it around. It is still a functional piece of a pretty nice size pair of scissors. So I gotta check out how long the blades of these are.
Those are long scissors.
Proportionally, these are very long scissors, and they are brass and stainless. Like they're really were a nice piece, because that's what you did in the 90s. You know, you can remember staying with the company forever. They paid you nothing but gave you some cool desk stuff. So this is your cool desk stuff from Nabisco from 1991. The scissors, the letter opener, and the little holder to put it in on your desk. It's $8 for the set. $8 for the set of Nabisco by giving me number 33. $8, number 33 for the scissors and letter opener set.
Cool advertisement piece there. And I see Sue Raspberry picking that up. Congratulations, Sue.
Excellent. Thank you, Sue, for picking that up. We had a couple people interested in that. So sorry, Book Bewitched and Vintage Peep Show and Barb Lee. Several people wanted those. All right. So those are going to Sue Raspberry. And since we're putting stuff on our desk, we can go a little bit older and probably back up to probably the 50s, I would say, maybe the 60s. For the gentleman's desk, you would have another piece of lacquerware. It has it's like a little letter tray. So a little letter caddy. It has kind of a Near East look to it, like kind of more of a India, maybe a subcontinent, maybe Nepal. Guys on horses kind of looking like they're playing polo, but I have a feeling that's not what they're playing. So you've got 1, 2, 3 compartments. It definitely has some patina to it. The lacquer has a little bit of wear, has a little bit of cracking. It's in good, solid condition. It's just definitely showing its age. So it's just a cool looking piece. It'd look great on somebody's desk, hold your bills, or just be decorative, hold your remote controls if you want to. It's just a cool piece. It's not marked in any way. You can see the bottom again has some wear. It's just indicative of its age. So it's got some great natural patina with a really interesting look, and it is black. It is a black lacquer with the decorations on it. And there you go, Marco Polo. So yeah, I guess that's.
It does look like they're playing polo.
Marco's playing polos. So you can get the letter carrier for $12. So $12 for the black lacquer desk set. $12 by giving me number 28. $12, number 28 for Marco Polo desk set.
That is a very neat piece. And I see Flea Market Treasures for number 28. Congratulations.
All right. Flea Market Treasures.
And Nate is saying polo comes originally from India and was called Seagal.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for sharing that, because I did not know that. I did not know that. I thought polo was British. So
I did too. So Nate's always teaching us stuff in the chat.
Absolutely. All right. I only got one item left. I had to go through my list to make sure. So I've got a couple items that I'll cover that did not sell, that are sitting behind me right now. But for now, the last item I've got to sell is another piece of pottery. This is actually the biggest piece that I'm selling. This is a covered, probably designed to be a casserole dish. I think you could cook in this because it is fully glazed in the middle. To me, this would be something I would just put with my art pottery and just put it on a shelf, because the sides of this is what is really got the great coloration to it. So it has a green underglay or undertone with some dark green going across it. And then up here is kind of like a bluish green color that also has a little bit of a darker blue, almost of a brownish green in the lid. So it's got a great variety of colors that if you've got any of that tone in your decor, it's going to pick up whatever colors it's surrounded by. Because even if you put it up against dark brown, it's going to pick up and some of those colors start looking brown. So it's really a versatile glazing technique. The handle is done in like a gathered clay, to make the handle. It is signed, but I did not have any luck figuring out the signature. It's more like a Studio Pottery mark, kind of like a D with an E in the middle of it, but then kind of that weird squiggly arrow coming down. Google Lens didn't help me with it, and I couldn't find anything with that D and the E. So I'm not sure like where this was made. I picked it up here in the Midwest, but that doesn't mean that's where it came from. But I do think it's a high quality piece in the sense it's like, just look at the silhouette. This is not made in a high school pottery class. This is a high quality production piece. So great piece. It does probably weigh about 1.5 pounds, 2.5 pounds. So just keep that in mind for shipping, but it will fit in a standard sized box. So it's not oversized, but you get the pottery for $15. So $15 for the covered pottery dish, $15 by giving me number 56. $15.56 for the green covered pottery dish.
That has some beautiful speckles in it. I quite like speckled pottery.
Yep, absolutely.
And I see several people asking about cruise ship items, and I don't think that you have any cruise ship items tonight, Patrick.
I had the Continental Airline items, but the only cruise ship was Noah's Ark. So unless somebody's getting really creative about Noah's Ark, I don't think he sold tickets.
Reinventing Noah's Ark into the 21st century.
Yeah. My favorite part of Muppets Treasure Island is the rats who turn the ship into like a little cruise ship. They play shuffleboard. Now I can't think of anything that I would have had that had cruise ship stuff on it. So if you're saying something else, I don't know what that would be.
I don't think so. So keep staying tuned to Patrick, because you never know what he'll find in the future. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think in my personal collection, other than some of the menus that I had that were from cruise ships, I really don't have a lot of cruise stuff in my travel. Maybe that was coming because CCL commemorative. That looks like a cruise ship right there. So yeah, so no, I did not have any in this sale, but you never know. Okay, so no takers on the green pottery, so that's still available. The royalty bowl is still available. So that was the William and Mary 1693 royalty bowl. That was number 61, $25 for the royalty bowl, the little tin glazed pottery porringer. And then the only other thing was the set of current events, which by my own mistake, actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this $8 and I'm going to take away that duplicate. So you get just the 4 sets, but you don't get the duplicate. Because I had 10, but there was 2 that were identical. So I don't normally mark things down, but you know, they're $2 a piece basically. But there's no reason you'd want 2 of them. So Susan Funderburg, I'll do those for 8. If you want the duplicate, let me know and I'll give it to you for 10. But that, again, I did not realize that literally until I was showing them on screen. So if you just want the 4, they'll be $8. But if you want all 5 and you have a place to make the duplicate, I will send you all 5. Totally up to you. Otherwise, they'll probably end up in somebody's mystery box. And she said, no, thank you to the duplicate.
Okay, so you're going to take the 4. That's totally fine and completely understandable. I've had those for months, and I had no idea that there was duplicates in there. So thank you so much for picking that up. So number 63 went to Susan Funderburg. So that's it. So keep in mind, the link to my eBay store is where you will find the auction for the Dresden wreath. Again, we've dropped the link a couple of times, but once you're gone, if you don't want to find my link, just go into the description of this video. You'll see the link to my link tree, and that gives you links to my Etsy, my eBay, my Instagram, everything. This is in the eBay auction, and it will end next Thursday in the middle of my next auction. So that is what's up next. And then I have a pretty cool item already in store to go up into the next monthly or next weekly auction. So all the stuff that I'm not 100% sure what to price it at, this is kind of a fun way to do it. And Larry Riley, congratulations. I'm really jealous that you picked up the Amphora vase at such a great price. So you didn't buy anything else tonight, but that's totally fine. So that will be on its way. Thank you so much for picking that up, and you guys can pick up this. So thank you again for joining my chat. Thank you so much to Katie for helping me out. and being with me here tonight. So I appreciate all the help. And again, Nate, once you joined us, thanks for helping me out in the chat as well. And I'll have another video on Sunday. I don't know what it's going to be yet because I haven't done it yet. But so I'll try and have some more stuff coming up. That'll probably be a premiere video. But then again, my sale next week. What do you got coming up, Katie?
Well, I've got a fun video on X-ray records coming out tomorrow. So if you want to hear a little bit about some rare records, that will be tomorrow. And then, of course, I've got another fun show and tell. And Vintage Vinny will be on next Wednesday with his pinup card collection. So you want to stay tuned for that. Of course, other great vintage content as well.
Awesome. Definitely. The show and tells are a lot of fun. So that'll be great seeing Vinny's. So can't wait to look forward to that. So thanks everyone else for being in there. And sorry, Melody, no swizzle sticks tonight. But if you're ever looking for things, drop the chats here. Drop me an email. I'm kind of getting to the point where my inventory that had been in the booths, it's really dwindling down. So you'll still see a handful of things that pop up here and there, but for the most part, I'm now, gratefully at a point and stores are opened again. I'm shopping for live sales. So I still buy the stuff that's my aesthetic and that I like, but I hope everyone else will like too. Although this was kind of a bad choice. But you know what, that's fine. I'll just put it in my personal collection. But if you're ever looking for something like, the CCL, looking for cruise stuff, if I can find it, I'll pick it up and we'll have some fun selling it. So thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for giving me your time. Thanks for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster. Everybody have a great night. Bye-bye.